charmed life, and you would think she's got a really exceptional thing going on. And it really isn't about being charmed, it's about mindset. And so we're going to run through a few things that kind of are her story, and you're going to go, well, holy hell, how does that apply to me? And truthfully, it really does, because she is every mom. But let's start with, you are a hairstylist by trade.
Yes.
Who ended up on ABC Survivor. And
CBS.
CBS. Oh, yeah. You should have been on ABC. And you made it to the last 3.
I did.
I
I like to say I was the 3rd place winner.
I love that. You are married to a former NHL player.
I am.
You have 3 beautiful babies under the age of 3.
I do.
And you are one of the few operating partners and owners of the Dry Bar and Firm.
I am.
So tell us about how all of that started to happen. I love her because she has a mindset that I think she should share with all of you because it will help you get through things. And your mindset is?
It'll be fine. Always. It's totally fine. It's going to be great. It'll be fine.
So she's applied it to a lot of things. So let's start with your husband thinks he's going to retire from the NHL, but then he gets an offer to play in Switzerland.
This was not like a decided over many years. He sat down and said, I'm retiring. This is happening. I am writing the thing that will go out in the press release right now. It's going to be released tomorrow. We're done now. Like, we're moving on with our life and we're doing something new. And he had it written, literally was like dotting the last paragraph. We've accepted this is what we're doing, because you don't decide when these things are happening in sports. And we had really shifted that mindset, like, okay, this is our life now, like, we're gonna do something totally new. We had just had a baby, and he got a call that said, we want you to play in Switzerland tomorrow. I have a baby, a brand new baby. My oldest son was 3 months old, didn't have a passport, didn't have anything. How are we gonna go to Switzerland tomorrow? And it's Thanksgiving Day, so nothing is open. And he said, okay, I'll go tomorrow. You just figure out how to get there Saturday. And so I took him to the airport.
You gave him a couple days.
Yeah. I took him to the airport. My mom was in town. We went to the mall. We bought all the baby clothes that I would need for the next 8 months, because apparently they don't make baby clothes in Europe. And so we handled all of that. I came down here. I got a same-day passport. We were on a flight on Saturday. We went to Switzerland.
And you were there for how long?
We were there for about 8 months. 3 of us went to Switzerland, 3.5 of us came back. Not a lot to do there.
And so your next big move, you got here and you decided you really wanted to do something for you. You had really retired.
Yes.
You had moved on to a corporate job.
Yep.
And you were ready for you.
Yep.
So let's talk about the Dry Bar experience.
Okay. So Dry Bar is kind of a long and arduous process once you go through the entire franchising model and how to franchise and franchise approval. There's this whole discovery phase where you're learning about them, and then they're learning about you, and then is it a good fit for everybody? And they literally say, you're going to be so excited in phase 1, you're going to think this is a terrible idea in phase 2. And then in phase 3, if you're still here, let's talk. So, so we went through this, and it took probably 9 months or so. It was a long time. It culminated us in going to California, meeting the founders. They have to like you. And literally, Allie Webb and her brother have to say, you guys are great, we're gonna give you our baby. And
how many of those people that they've given the baby to are there in total?
3,000 people apply for a franchise a year, and there are 18 franchisees. So it's a tough process, something I was very nervous for, and walked into this meeting going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, this is never gonna happen, it's never gonna happen. And my husband literally said, this will be fine. You will come out of this, this will be fine. This is gonna be your decision, not theirs. They will like you, it will be good. And it was. Yeah.
And you had to be walking into all of this, you were walking in blind. You didn't have a background in opening franchises,
No business background. I was a hairstylist. I made people pretty, not a lot of business background, and now I own a full-fledged business.
So let's talk about that. So the Dry Bar is located in Birmingham. For those of you who live in the area, you may have noticed there was a little construction this summer. When did you open your salon?
June 15th.
You did a little bit of construction, and with that construction meant the roads were closed, Woodward and Maple, the entire intersection, like one building shy of her shop.
Literally, the construction stopped at our front door. And nobody told me about this construction when I was signing my lease. And we found out about it, and my husband, Warrior, completely like just up in arms. We're pulling from this lease. There's no way. We cannot do this. We cannot do this. We cannot do this. Babe, it's totally fine. It's going to be great. It'll be fine. And it was, because it stopped at our front door, which meant that if you wanted to go anywhere in Birmingham, you had to cross the street right into my front door. And people came in. And a lot of you came in. And thank you for that.
So,
We were really worried. I mean, I thought it was going to be fine, but we were really worried. But you came in, and you came in, and you came in, and I really appreciate it.
so you had a fledgling business, but you were also had a maybe something else going on.
So when we opened, I was 34 weeks pregnant or something. So I was like, okay, I'm keeping everybody on track. Like now this is my third baby, and I kept saying like, third baby, it'll be fine. Like it's fine. I know what I'm doing. It's my third baby. We'll figure it out. And I had 6 weeks. I was like, in 6 weeks, I can get the shop up and running. I can get some systems in place. I can do all of the things that will let us get there so that I can take some time off and have this baby and whatever. And we opened on a Friday. We get through our first week. We get through our second week. We're almost through our third week, and I had a doctor's appointment, my 37-week appointment. And I was like, okay guys, be back in a half hour. We're gonna be in Royal Oak for 5 minutes. Be right back. Walk into the doctor's office. She takes my blood pressure and she goes, oh my God, your blood pressure is through the roof. I was like, well, yeah, no shit. Like, and then they wouldn't let me leave. And then they were like, you're going straight to Beaumont. You might want to call your husband. So I had to make that call and be like, okay, so I'm going to go to the hospital right now. I think it'll be fine. It was not fine. We had a baby 4 hours later. And that was a lot earlier than we planned. And then we have an early baby who needs like a little more care and a little more time and a little more everything than I had planned for. Like I literally the week before had said, this was on July 6th that I had him. I had said to my doctor at my 36th week, I was like, shop's closed on the 4th. Do you think you can induce me on the 3rd? Like I will be 37 weeks on the 4th. Like that sounds right to me. And then the 4th came and went, and I was like, oh God, I'm not ready to have a baby. There's no way. I'm so glad they said no. 2 days later, of course we have a baby.
He was listening.
He was. He's been a really good baby.
Thank God, this is the third one of your business to run.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the trade-off, because you have a really unusual relationship right now at home with your husband.
Yep.
And he actually learned a really important lesson in all of this. It's
Yeah.
a lesson I think if we were going to have one male speaker, he would have been it, because we had him at another event, he spoke, and he said something I think that was really profound and honest, so I'd love you to share that story.
So one thing that we have always said is like, he sacrificed everything for what we have now. And I think that when we think about athletes, like you think like everything is like, it's amazing and it's so fun and you have this glamorous life and you do the cool things, you make so much money, and like all of those things are true, but you don't see that like he was the best in the world at something. Like there's very few people who could do what he did, and the work ethic that it takes to get there, and the day in, the day out, the things he started doing when he was a kid to get there. Like when everybody else was out playing, you're practicing, you know, you're doing all the things. He put in the work for so long, and he sacrificed so much that he said, when we went into this, he was like, I lived my dreams. It's time for you to do. Shit. I just had a baby. But he was like, it's time for you to go and do this, and like, you sacrificed for me, I will now do that for you. So he has a job that is flexible and is great, and he's home a lot, and it's hilarious. But he always says like, he's like, I would go to work because when he stopped working, he got a corporate job. It didn't end well. But he realized that was not something that he wanted to do, and he wanted to stay in sports, and he's been able to do that. But But he had this corporate job and he was gone all the time, and he'd come home and I had a baby and another baby because I have a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. And he would be like, why are the dishes not done? Like, you've been home all day. Like, the house is a mess. Like, what is going on? I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I've been home all day with these children. I'm pulling my hair out. And that's him now. He's like, I get it. I understand this. Like, there is not one free minute in the day. And we have another baby on top of it. So he really does, like, he appreciates, like, so much more everything that I did before I went to work. And so he's super helpful both at home and in our business, and it's amazing.
Partnership is key.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I want to thank you so much